Hey guys, high school bass coach here. I'm filling in for Logan this week. This is our third stop on the Virginia Elite 70 trail, and we are on our home waters of Lake Anna. In this trail, you get one official practice day, and it's the day before the tournament. So for this one, Logan was in school on Friday, and I had to work at 1. So I was on the water Friday morning at dark and got off the water around noon. Knowing that there was a spawn going on down lake in the clear water, I just didn't feel like I had the time to go and find 5 good bedding fish. So we decided to take a gamble and kind of fish up the river in the dirtier water where we weren't looking at the fish and hoping we could get on some kind of a moving bait bite. The way this lake sets up, the spawn usually takes place pretty much down in the clear water first and then works its way up into the river sections. We did find a fish on a bed up above the splits, and we were kind of concentrating on that area where it transitions from clear water into a little bit dirtier water. Not way up where it's real dirty, but it's such a risky thing trying to find bed fish. There's a lot of really good bed fishermen in this circuit, and I felt like if I found 5 fish, I might get to put my bait in front of 2 or 3 of them before the rest of them were gone. So we did what we did. Probably looking back on it, might not have been the best decision, but sit back and watch the video, and hopefully you can learn something from it. I'm going to put a few tips in here, tackle tips. So hope you enjoy the video, and if you got any comments, put them in the box below. Thanks.
I see you 14, 15, 16.
I guess we were. Thank you.
Quote 15.
Let's get him, dude.
You're at my house now, baby. I wish.
Trimmed all the way down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're ready to roll.
Sack us up a bag. There you go. They're on. That's a pontoon boat. What? Oh, we got a tag behind us.
Alright, let's get a big one out of here, right off the bat.
I gotta throw that buzzbait, dude.
Alright, go.
I gotta.
If you ever watch any of our videos, no mistaking where we're at right here. We just pull up in front of Stubbs Bridge. It's one of my favorite places in the morning to just try to get a keeper in the live well. I've caught some 5 and 6 pounders here too, but it's neat because all the water that's coming down the Pamunkey River comes through this bridge. And when you graph underneath it, there's all kinds of bait fish, crappies, bass, stripers, everything. So there's a lot of fish here. And usually in the morning you can get them on a topwater, although I haven't been having much luck on a buzzbait or anything like that, so I'm throwing a weighted fluke and kind of working it quick around the edge of the grass and stuff.
Something I'm starting to notice about these shad every time I see them is they're a lot more brown than they are. They're brown and silver on the bottom, but they have a brown back. They look exactly like the Tennessee shad color.
Yeah. So Logan makes a good observation here. He sees a few little shad flicking. Look like they were spawning up against this seawall right here. So I thought, oh boy, we could really be in business. We could get a couple in the live well right away. So we're just throwing this little weighted fluke, and Logan's throwing a buzzbait. Get out just a little bit, bud. I know what you're trying to do, but if you can get out just a little bit, I can cast that too. That's better.
Yeah, Fluke looks really good.
Oh, I missed it. I missed it. Throw that sinker in there. He didn't get the hook.
Yeah. Probably seen the boat.
Yeah.
Looks like a little guy.
Might have been, but it's hard to tell. There you go. That. Don't try to poke flip them.
Alright, then get that.
You got a spinning on it. I'm fishing boat.
He ate that thing.
Yep. Is that a good call? Flip that in there?
Oh, did he swallow it?
No.
I might throw this. He didn't want that buzz bait. Why don't you run the front with the fluke, and then I'll go behind you with the Senko. I think that's a good idea, don't you?
Yeah. Do that.
Just see my line get tight. Oh, and push that thing in that's in there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Good job, dude. Always catch
Throw my Senko back in there.
Yep, we always catch one right here. Well, that part worked out. It makes you feel better just to get a fish in the live well right away. This was literally the first 15 minutes of the morning. And that's the thing, I might just have to throw it out, you know? I put on auto for just 7 up.
That cold tag worked good?
Yeah, it seems to work good. There's a spot right there where it slips right in, you know, like.
Yeah. That fish ate that thing.
Yeah. They usually with the Senko, they get it real good.
Oh man. Oh, never mind. That was that dude casting. I was like, they started blowing up on that wall. It's almost like you need more weight in that thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, the nose weight's nice, but it does take some of the action away from it. I thought maybe a little more action, maybe a little slower fall too.
gonna fill this live well up halfway. Fish hit it?
Yeah, I think it's a bluegill.
Probably one of the moormouths.
We're gonna catch them.
I just filled them up halfway and then put on the oxygenators.
Well, with one quick fish in the live well, we fished this out a little bit and decided to make a quick move. This next spot we're going to hit is it's just a bank that has a lot of features to it. There's little patches of grass. There's a lot of laydowns. Actually, one part of it's kind of steep, like a bluff bank, and it leads back into a shallow spawning flat. So I figured I like to fish this area just to find out what the fish are hanging on. If they're on grass, we can figure that out. If they're on wood, we can figure that out. You know, all from going down this stretch real quick. I'm still kind of practicing because I only got a half a day on Friday, so I'm still trying to really figure this bite out. This little cove, all the laydowns down there.
I gotta get something to eat, man.
Go ahead and do it. That sun's gonna come out. It's gonna be out all day. So I pick up that little weighted fluke again right here, and this should have been a clue that I should have keyed in on, and I didn't. Looking back at it now, it's telling me that this fish was not on the bank. It was out a little bit deeper. I stopped to put my glasses on and just let the fluke kind of float to the bottom, and he nailed it.
Oh, it's like I'm putting on your glasses.
Yep. The rod I'm using here is a Fitzgerald 6/8 medium heavy, which to me is more like a medium action rod. I use this for jerk baits, soft plastic jerk baits, small spinner baits. It's a great rod. It has a lot of tip to it, a good parabolic bend. You can see this, 3-pound bass bending this rod over. The nice thing too about it is when they make a surge, it's got a lot of give to it. So, when you're fishing a moving bait, you don't want to have something that's like a broomstick to where they can use that against you. It's a great rod. I love it. It's not an expensive rod. I got it paired up with a Daiwa Tatula 100 series and a 7.1 gear ratio with 12-pound Seagar and VizX line, and that thing will throw a fluke a mile.
It's funny, those rods have no, like, you cannot force that fish up.
No.
Like, if he...
But they have a good give to them, so when they make a surge like that...
Yeah. Where'd you put these things at?
I just found a spot like right in the front of his lip. Let's cut away here for a second. I'm going to insert a little clip of this bait that I'm using, the technique, how I rig it, and how I fish it. Hey guys, today I want to show you how I rig a weighted fluke. It's a really effective bait this time of year. We're in the spring. The grass is just, the willow grass on the edges of the lakes is just starting to come up and turn green, and the shad will get in there and spawn, and the bass will follow them right in there, and the bass will spawn in there too in little holes and stuff like that. But first, if you're a sexy shad fan like I am, it's one of my favorite color baits to throw in any type of moving minnow bait. You got to try some of this. I was fooling around with some different stuff this week and kind of stumbled across this. This is a Zoom Super Fluke in Arkansas Shiner. Nothing fancy, but it really matches what's going on out there when the shad are up shallow and they're spawning. And then I take a little, this is just a spike at Dip and Glow. You can get these at any tackle retailer pretty much, any of your higher end tackle shops. And I just take and see if I can show you this. It's very simple, but it really looks good in the water. There's a little seam there where the mold was, and I just take this and go down that seam like that, just like that right there on both sides. How good you can see that. But you'd be surprised how much that little bit of chartreuse right there puts off a flash in the water when you jerk this thing. Just like that right there. So that's one of my favorite colors. It's become one of my favorite colors. I guess I've always been a sexy shad, but they don't really offer it in any of these fluke style baits that I've found anyways that look like this. So give that a try. It might work on your home lake, and might pick you up a few fish. A little something different than maybe what the competition's throwing also. The way I was rigging it, there's two ways to rig this bait. So one way that I really like to rig it, I got a 4/0, or you can use a 5/0. I like a 4/0. This is a Gamakatsu Finesse Hybrid Aaron Martin's hook. It's a Finesse Hybrid worm hook, actually. It's kind of in between a regular worm hook and an EWG. Works really good for flukes. You can throw it on a casting rod. It's stiff enough, to where it's not going to bend, but it's got a slick coating on it, so you can throw it on a spinning rod too. You'll get a really good hook set, even if you don't have a rod with a really stiff backbone. Sometimes I like to throw it on a spinning rod, but nothing different here. Just going to go in just like normal Texas rig. All right, come out, bring it up the shank of the hook, and then I'm going to come back in. I'm going to make sure that's laying flat, just like that. You want that thing to lay flat like that, okay? Now here's the trick where you get the weight from. There's two different ways to do it. I'm going to show you the way I like to do it the best first. So I'm going to get in my box over here. I got these little nail weights, and a lot of different companies. A lot of different companies make them, for Nico rigging and stuff like that. This one here, I think, is made by Lunker City. Again, you can get them in your local tackle store. What I like to do with this is I put a little dab of super glue on it. This also helps when you're skipping under docks. If you're skipping under a dock with a fluke, a lot of times, what happens is, if it's not weighted at all, that first skip will skip high and it'll skip up on the dock. So this gives it just enough, just a little bit of weight, to where it doesn't jump way up on the dock on you. And you can get a nice skip where it'll just slide right under there real close to the water. Okay, so right here behind the hook, come out a little bit, make sure that's laying nice and flat. Okay, so right here behind the hook, and I got that super glue on there, I'm going to push this all the way through. All the way through, like that. Till that point's just sticking out like that. And now that super glue is doing its job right there. It's going to hold it in place. And then I'm just going to come back and I'm going to cut those off. Take your pliers. And these are kind of grooved so they'll cut real easy. Just going to take your pliers. Slide it all the way up in there flush. Boom. Boom, just like that. And that's what it's going to look like right there. And that's going to help you tremendously if you're skipping docks or if you're just wanting to get it a little bit deeper. You know, a regular fluke, it's going to stay up on the top and it's going to almost fish more like a topwater, where this will get down 3 or 4 feet, 5, 6 feet if you let it sink, depending on how slow you fish it. So that's probably my favorite way. Another way you can rig it is you can Texas rig it, and that's let's see here. Yeah, I got the weights in this other box here for that. Okay, now I take the smallest little, either lead or tungsten, doesn't really matter. Smallest little weight I can find, and I'm not sure what these weigh. I'll weigh one for you here in a minute. I got a scale to weigh that. There it is. It's just a little teeny tiny guy, and I'll just Texas rig it. I'll slide a bobber stop on first, you know, just like you were flipping. Slide that weight on, and then pull it down tight. Now I do one or the other. I don't do both, because when you add weight to these, no matter how you add the weight, it takes a little bit of the action away. This not so much, but even this little bit of weight right here is going to kind of make it dive down. And then when you jerk it, it's not going to go as wide, but it's still going to have good action. You still get bit on it a lot. I'm going to weigh that for you. Give me just a second here. I got a scale over here. I got to jump down out of the boat real quick and get the scale, and I'll weigh it for you. All right, I got my little scale here. These are real handy, by the way. These you can pick these up on Amazon. Just make sure you get the ones that weigh ounces and not grains. Some of them are made for archery, but they're handy because once these go in the box, I have no idea what they weigh. So it's 0.057 of an ounce. That's how small that thing is. So there you go. So that's the 2 ways I like to rig a fluke. This time of year it's really effective. I know the video didn't show that too much. I think we missed it by maybe a week or 2. But we'll get back out there and get after it and get on a really good fluke bite.
You let it sit there for a second, put on your glasses. And...
Yeah, I did. I was like, I can't see.
That was funny.
That's alright, I'll take it however I can get it, dude. You know? Like 4 more of them.
It's fun fighting them on that rod, man.
It is. This is a great
It's like
rod.
a little noodle.
I love this rod. It's good for a lot of stuff. I mean, it's good for stuff that's like, I bet you could throw a shad wrap on this thing too.
Yeah.
It's that lightweight stuff that... Yeah, I just let it sink and you hit it right on the fall.
I'll be back in action here in a minute.
It's alright. Seems like when one of us...
When you fished that grass yesterday, did you see that shad spawn going on that grass?
Not much. I seen some shad flipping out behind me in the middle.
They might be in the grass today.
They might be.
It ain't gonna, that bite ain't gonna last for long, so.
Well, I didn't see the shad.
If you want to scoot up onto that grass and then come back and work this stuff later, you can.
I hate to move him. We just caught one here.
Yeah.
There's rock there too, so I'm not really sure what he's doing.
Yeah, I hear it.
Let's work our way down. So it was definitely a female.
I didn't see a ton of eggs in her though. She was healthy though. Maybe that was her eggs, I don't know. Yours has been a giant male.
So we fished this down for probably the next hour or so. Probably spent a little bit too much time in there without another bite. It really wasn't telling us a whole lot, so we decided to move down into the pocket further, where there's a few good little cuts where they like to spawn. I just wanted to check that out and see if there was anything in there. I ended up running into an old friend of mine down there who actually pulled in front of us, and I was kind of a little bit like, wow, I can't believe he just did that. But come to find out, he was a good friend of mine, and he didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was till we got closer to each other, and it just goes to show you don't ever be a jerk to somebody on the water. You know, he's a great guy, and probably what he did he felt was fine.
Got some nice shirts, bud.
Thank you.
Is that you, Jeff?
Oh, what are you doing, man?
Looking around for crappie.
Oh, yeah?
Missing that crappie tournament tomorrow, but man, I'm gonna tell you, this cold front killed it.
Yeah, we're not doing much good either.
I did pretty good Thursday.
What have you been up to? That's a pretty boat. That's a pretty boat.
Yeah, it seems the fish don't even give a damn about it today.
So we decided to make a run. I found a bed and fish in practice that I thought we could catch if nobody else would get in there before us. I actually shook it off. It was very aggressive, about a 2.5 pound male. Didn't think I was going to need that fish, but after fishing all morning and only putting 2 in the boat, kind of wanted to get that third one in the boat. So we went to it, and you can see what happens here.
I bet someone's trying to pick
I bet right now there's a big old 2.5 pounder over
How
here.
far back is this dock?
He's right over here.
Behind this dock?
It's the next one.
Yeah, I see the
See the floating thing?
Let me get some food while you do that.
All right. Should I just throw the Senko in there, you think? Or throw a jig?
Well, if it's over a dock, I think you should throw in the rage bug.
Or a jig.
Just something you're going to get a good hook in them and you're not going to lose them. You have to bring them over a pontoon float?
Yeah, but I might be able to go in from the side.
But I was going to say, if you need to get them over the float, then definitely do not use a wacky worm. But, I don't know. Wacky worm and docks don't really.
I hate it, though. I'll throw that fluke in there.
Chuck the rage bug. There's a jungle flipping hook with a rage bug already on it.
I don't need all that. I had the lizards in here. You take them out?
No?
Yes, you did.
You're going to put a lizard on that? Alright.
I know what McCotter says, but he ain't gonna like this lizard being in there. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right now, son. I'm gonna take his head off though. Make him a little shorter. Put him right up in there. Probably not even there. Bad fishing 101. JB and the LBF.
Don't get too close to him.
Hook right out too sweet. Eat it. Can't see it.
Is the bed not even there?
What's that?
He might be sitting under that dock. Or he's in someone's live well. If they're not female, a lot of times they'll just sit under the nearest piece of cover.
Yeah, let's see.
I think he knows your tricks.
I think you learned someone else's trick. Well, just as I was afraid of, either somebody came and got this fish, or he just didn't want to bite again, because he did bite yesterday. He was very aggressive. Didn't get the hook. He kind of ran under the dock, and I shook him off. We made a journey a little bit further up the river. We actually found 67-degree water up there. It's the warmest water I've found, and this is the part that maybe y'all can help me with. Why does the spawn start down lake first when the water temperature down there is about 5 to 6 degrees cooler? I struggle with that. I thought, and maybe it's because the flow of water, maybe it's because the color of water. Maybe they want that cleaner water to, for light penetration, but I just don't get it. This was the warmest water. We struggled to catch one fish up here, and this is usually, the fish are there. They don't swim all the way back down to the end of the lake. So if y'all know anything about that, why does it happen that way? Or did we just miss out on a bite that was going on up there? I don't know. Anything you can put in the comments to help, that'd be great. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That looks like a carp. Oh no, that's a bass.
Not a giant, that's a start.
It's healthy. Oh, looks like we'll stay here for a little bit. Yes.
Think so?
Are these 12?
That one's pre-spawn. Oh.
I thought that was a real big one.
That was a female.
I was hoping.
Was that one even under the dock?
No, it's out on the side of it.
Shake your head in the whack one and just fish the outside though.
came for the margaritas. We came for the margaritas. You got any? Hey, I'm good with that. Such a big fish from under the stock right here.
We're gonna try.
You have to wear them when you have sponsors.
Skipped under there.
You're under there, aren't you?
I go back through it again, or?
Just, if you want to get it from the other side.
All right.
There you go. That's what we're after.
Oh my God, look. Oh, nice. Hey, we got it.
Oh, they all go back in the water.
For you. You gotta throw them back.
Yeah, we throw them all back.
Why? One of them. It's good for the environment.
So you can catch them again.
It's good for the environment. If we were starving, we have to make it, but once you taste the fish is big, the whole city's got that big.
So at this point in time, we're up the river a good bit, and we're running out of time. Got to get back towards the weigh-in. So we take off, and as we come under the bridge, back out from under Stubbs Bridge, we notice that the wind is blowing pretty good. This is the only wind we've really had all day, so we both pick up a spinnerbait and hit a couple wind-blown points. The camera, number one, that was facing forward, I think it came unplugged. I'm always having technical problems, and it's really hard because you're focused on fishing. It's really hard to figure that out when it's happening. But anyway, Logan ended up missing a fish. It was a short, and then I ended up catching one that was like 13 or 14 inches just to kind of salvage the day.
Okay.
You never know. I'd like to figure out whoever wins and how they won.
Yeah, it might not have been on beds. It's pretty windy today.
Yeah.
But you don't have to see the bed to catch them. If you have a good mark on it, you can.
Yeah.
And yesterday was a good day to look for them because it was like no wind and sunny out.
Yeah.
But man, there was just no beds. And maybe Down Lake was different. I don't know. But
Here's one. Keeper. You should be 12.
yeah.
Oh, man. I thought it was a freaking big one when you hit it, man. You hammered it. Got him with that trailer hook. Is he 12?
Yeah, he's 12.
Oh, yeah. Throw that in there, will you? You want me to just toss it?
Nah, bro.
He was all pretty deep.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we would have actually hit windblown points with jerk baits if we would have caught them. Oh, man. There was no wind until 20 minutes ago.
I know.
It's kind of a tough pattern to do with no wind.
Well, guys, a very humbling end to our Lake Anna tournament. Like I said earlier in the video, we consider Lake Anna kind of our home water. We have more knowledge on this lake than any of the other ones that we travel to in this circuit. And we predicted coming in here that it was probably going to be a sight fishing deal, and that it was probably going to take close to 25 pounds to win this. And I'm not sure how it was won, but it sure wasn't done doing what we were doing. But I want to stay focused for Logan. We got into this type of competition so that he could learn and prepare himself for college, and surround himself with the right people. And I want to thank Steve Camp for that. He has really got the right people in this group. So much knowledge here, so many good people. So thank you, Steve, for creating that atmosphere for all of us fishermen out here. If you want to see more of this type of content, please subscribe, like, and share. Our next stop is going to be a BFL on May 15th, and then another Virginia Elite 70 on the 20th and 21st of May. That's a 2-day. So please subscribe, hit that little bell, and it'll notify you when we drop a new video. Thank you.